Thursday treating you?
Hey, Scott. Not bad, not bad. Hello, everybody. And yeah, Jamie had some things to take care of, but that's okay. We can handle it. You guys bear with me today. I'm at the tail end, I think, of a cold. So if you hear me going on pause, I'm probably coughing or hacking or something over here. So I got some cough drops. So bear with me. Hi, David. How are you, man? Let's let's dive in. All right. Before we do, let's go over the disclaimer here. Hey, Scott, could you go on mute there?
Thought I would.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. All right. We are content publishers here at Trade Ideas. All right. This is for educational purposes only. Nothing that you see or hear today should be construed as investment advice. If you are seeking that type of advice, please look for a registered advisor or a stockbroker, somebody who hangs that license that can legally give it to you. All right. It's going to be a fun little session, I think. Like I said, I'm flying solo. I do have a cold, so it may be a brief session, but I really think we can get some good stuff in because I'm going to tell you a little bit of what I've been doing lately, and just kind of give you an idea of some bottom in the market. That's a big if, all right. And I think tomorrow is going to be a big day because I'll explain that when I get into the market recap. I got the Holly AI, but you know what? Jamie's not here, so we'll just leapfrog that today. I haven't prepped for anything like that. We're going to take a look at the Trend Change Pro. Okay, this is we used to call it kind of the first one was a trend change lubricant. In fact, I'm not sure where that came from, but basically it looks for stocks that are possibly changing, turning around the corner, and I'm going to show you an anomaly today that I haven't seen before. And like I said, I think it'll be interesting and fun. So, and then that short strat that I shared with you guys, I guess that would be a month ago, and we revisited it last week, and we're going to do that again for the third time today to see if it's still performing. There's been a nice little uptrend over the last, let's say month to 5 weeks. We're going to see if that one's still performing well. So it's always good if you have a strategy, especially if the market changes, the dynamics change in the market, to go ahead and back test that strategy again to see if it's still working. So we'll we'll do that as well. And like I said, bear with me. I got to drink some hot tea. All right, before we move on, real quick, guys, we do have some incredible support and education and training here. You can see the webinars along the left side. We do 2 a week, and then we have this great little every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time, a daily support session where one of the traders will come in there and we can field live questions and screen share. I mean, not screen share, but you guys can view our screen and we can kind of go over things that you might be struggling with in the software. Once again, that's every Monday through Friday, 12 Eastern. All right, I'll save this for Scott on the way out. Let's dive in. And what I'm talking about here, it's been a really great I think move in the market. I actually had, I think, my best day of maybe not the year, but close to it yesterday. And there's been, even if you don't like shorting and you've missed, a lot of the action to the short side, that's okay. I mean, there's some people that just do not feel comfortable shorting, and I understand that, especially when you're holding stuff overnight. That can be kind of scary. But what we've seen now is, some nice little moves. Get my Epic pen going. Even if you don't like shorting, there's always some little opportunity here to catch nice little bounces in the marketplace, and that's where you got to focus on, especially if you're like a swing trader like myself. You look for those types of opportunities in the market there, and you can get some really nice runs in a bear market. Are we still in a bear market? Time will tell. This could we have started a bull market back over here? I don't know, and you know what, I really don't. And there's there's some things that tell me that we haven't seen a bottom, but boy, the way the price action has moved lately, and especially when you have the Fed jumping in with Fed talk like they did yesterday, yeah, you don't want to fight it. So let's. But here's the point I'm talking about yesterday. Okay, now we're back up, we're above this 200-day moving average, and I told you the other day in Steve's webinar that when we do get above that 200-day moving average, you want to see several days, above this 200-day moving average. In other words, you don't want to see this day followed by this day and then turn around and go back below, because then we're just going right back down into our range. Hey, Mike C, how you doing? Jamie's not here today, but I'll tell him you said hi. So I think this is, and the reason I say tomorrow, in my opinion, is a big day. I know it's a Friday, okay? But what you would typically like to see on a volume bar like we had yesterday, that was a nice move. Of course, it was kind of Fed induced, but nonetheless, that was a really, really, really nice bar there. We had one back over here that turned out to eventually go. So this one, compared to this one, it kind of started the rally. So some 3 nice big bars there, and some, nice moves afterwards. We'll have to see what happens. But what I would like to see tomorrow, and I'm not short anything, I'm all long right now, is we've had a nice go day yesterday, followed by a pause day today. And this would be a very good time, if we are going to be turning around, to have what's called a go, pause, and then another go. Okay. Like I said, it's Friday. It's probably not the best day to happen on, but who knows? Maybe we get it. Same thing with the Qs. Okay, the Qs are still well below their 200-day moving average. They have a lot of catching up to do here in the Qs. But if I draw this trend, let's see here. Let me click on it and go down here. There we go. If I draw this trend right, yeah, you kind of got another point there. So yeah, so the Qs have some work to do, okay? Now, let's face it, that's the one that's been getting clobbered ever since the 1st of January. Tech stocks have been just getting destroyed. And now a lot of them are starting to bounce. And I'm going to show you here in a minute what I'm talking about. And I probably don't even have to show you. You're probably already aware of this. But still, even with being below that 200-day moving average and the trend line, this has the potential for another pretty decent volume in the Qs, another go, and then a perfect little pause, and then maybe we get that go. I don't know if we'll get it all tomorrow, and then eventually maybe the next couple of days hit this 200-day moving average, and that would put us right pretty close to the a trend line as well. So key level coming up if we can get there in the Qs. The spiders are kind of above that key level. Let's see if they can maintain and hold that key level. So this is why I say tomorrow is a big day, because honestly, if we turn around and fall right back below this 200-day moving average and do the same thing in the Qs, if you watch any time in the market, you guys are traders. So when the market turns just intraday, you can see the liquidity just backing off. I see it all the time because I'm usually holding about, a dozen positions. And it's amazing. I'll look over there and it's like you get a few little red ticks in the market and my P&L cuts in half. I'm going like, my gosh. Well, just keep that in the back of your mind. The people are still quick on the trigger. They're not sure if this is a bottom or not. So they're like myself. Okay, I'm constantly taking profits all the way up. I'm not loading up right now. I'm thinking, oh man, the bottom's in. Shoot, no, man, I'm taking profits as my trades get there. I'll hang on to a little of all my positions. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll jump in and out, but no, yeah, you have to take this is by no ways etched in stone that the bottom is in and we're going higher. There's still a lot of uncertainties out there. Let's take a look at the IWM real quick while I get another drink of tea here. Same thing as the spiders there in the IWM. We're above the 200-day moving average and a potential go, pause, go. Not a very strong day, in the, as far as if you just look at that candle in the IWM, but still, yeah, has the potential for a go, pause, go. But I've seen the action in the big cap lately, and let's talk about that a little bit more. One final note, if we do fall back in, we still are above our 10-period moving average, our 20 and our 50. So it's not like, all is done. It just could be on a Friday, people are profit taking after the, big day yesterday, and we could, come back and settle back in, kind of gap and fill back down to this moving average. All right. I always like to talk about, and the reason I say that because people have told me that they like hearing what I've done lately and how I've traded. God, it's driving me crazy. Why don't you get up there and sit in your little spot? There you go. Okay. Well, I'm not the one to chase highs, especially in this type of tape that we have. You buy highs, you get that head fake, slam back down. People are taking profits. Okay, so I kind of look for stocks that may be, turning. Lately, I've been looking at a lot of these beaten up big tech stocks that not only looking for, a great trading opportunity, but looking to put some away, put some in my back pocket and hold for a while. Because let's face it, I bought some Tesla the other day. Now, I don't recommend doing like this, but I bought it on this day because he had a nice drive down and an inside little spinning top day. I got fortunate, had a nice little move. Now I'm doing what I'm doing with these is I take my core position and I keep it, and then I trade size around it. That works best for me. So shop, I bought back on this day right here, perfect little to the 20-period moving average, that pullback, and now I'm still in it. I actually accidentally got out today and had to buy some back today. That's why my entry price is not showing, but you can see my closed, P&L, so you can see that I've been in this thing for a while. Pins is just one that I entered today. I think this one has, I think I bought a little yesterday and a little more today. This has the potential to be one of those, bigger cap, stocks that if it gets above this level right here, could have a nice little move to it. So I'm kind of just in a half position right now. Amazon, pretty much, barely up in that one right now, but I think it has potential to bounce. What are some of the, Netflix. Netflix has been a really good one. I started buying this on this day back here, and I've been in and out it for several times. I did buy it back again the other day. So anyway, I'm playing a lot of these. Of course, you're always going to find some China names on mine. Neo, I actually held some Neo on this day and got a huge move there. Still have a little bit. And then the silver, I'm surprised at this AG because this was one of the ones that was actually holding up the best of the silver stocks. And man, the silver took off and this thing has really done nothing. I'm trying to be patient with it. I'm in the money a little bit, but yeah, I did trade Newmont out of this move right here when it was close to breaking out. I'm one that likes to anticipate, so I bought a little bit, but I just scalped that one. I don't like being in a whole bunch of gold. Let's see, XPEV I actually bought today after that huge day yesterday. I bought it right here on this reversal. Well, XPEV, small size. And what else? I'm just trying to go cover everything. Meta, I've been in for a while, and this one has been a sweet one. You guys know this one was original price, and this one was around 94. And once again, I've been in and out of it, keeping that core position, but scalping, taking size and scalping it around it, but maintaining that core position. So I kind of wanted to go over these trades because I'm seeing some big cap heavy hitters in the technology arena that are bouncing, that are basically bottoming out, hopefully. So it brought to my attention, it's like, well, you know what? I wonder what else is going on out there. Obviously the market has done well. I see a lot of things that are moving, a lot of big cap stocks, that are having a nice bounce to them. So I went to my Trend Change Pro and I pulled it up, and I want you to look at all these stocks. Now, first, let's look at the configuration of this trend change. It may be a little bit different from the one you're used to. All right, so price $5 to $1,000, position in year range. They have to be in the lower 35%. So, okay, so this is not one of those relative strength stocks, scans. Okay, we're not looking for stocks that are close to their all-time high, close to the yearly highs. These are stocks that are in the lower 35% of the yearly range. But they have to be, and this is what I'm talking about, this is the max 35% of their position in year range, but position in 20-day range, they have to be in the upper 10% because I have a minimum of 90 right here. So once again, by using these range filters, okay, you can get a really good, ENPH deserves a watch, that's for sure. I was in SunPower, I made some really good money on that move it had that day. I happened to be in it when it made that huge move, and man, I bought it back the other day, but I could not get that thing to do anything. I finally just probably got out prematurely, but it was just not working. But yes, that EMPH is a good one there. That's definitely the mothership of that sector. All right, so and then the average volume, it's got to do 1 million shares, a day. So I'm looking for stocks that are, liquid. The more, if 4 or 5 million, the more the better. Okay, so I'm looking for stocks that are liquid, that are, possibly, turning around on that daily time frame. So let's just take a look at some of these real quick. Clear this. And you guys bear with me one sec. And all right, so this, like I said, guys, I've never ever seen this full, okay, full of stocks. Now remember, these are all stocks that have to be in that same little general area on the daily chart, okay? They have to be in the lower 35%, and then they have to be in the upper 90% of their, the upper 10% of their 20-day range. So these are stocks that are, turning around, and you're going to see some big names in there. Stocks that are, there's Google, there's Qualcomm, Tesla's in here. I mean, I could go on and on. We could go by symbol and take a look at these and see some names that you're very familiar with. And of course, you're going to find some names that you probably aren't either. They only have to do 1 million shares a day. Seeing some gold stocks in there. There's Meta. Okay, there you go. There is the old Facebook. Okay, it's in the lower, look at the yearly range. It's in the lower 35% of its yearly range. Microsoft's in there. NVIDIA's in there. OKTA had a huge move today, but if you look at it, it's still in the very, very lower portion of its yearly range and its lifetime range. This one could have potentially a very, very nice move to it. Redfin, there's Rocket, which has been having a couple of good days. See, Shop, this is the one I've been in and got back in again today, but because I accidentally sold it. Toll Brothers, so you're seeing a ton of stocks. Workday after its earnings yesterday. Zillow, Yeti. All right, so a lot of big names that, let's face it, these were leading the pack. These were high flyers at one time. They're still in the lower 35%. So guys, what I want, the reason I wanted to talk about this today, if we are, in a bottom, there could be some incredible opportunity. Not so much day trading, not so much even swing trading, but some opportunity to buy a little bit. Don't look at it. Put it away, look at it 5 years from now. And obviously that's hard to do, especially if you're a trader and you watch the stock market all the time. But even if it's only, 50 shares, 25 shares, if you're talking about maybe something, that's high priced. But I'm telling you, you put some of these away and you forget about it. Obviously, put a stop. You just don't want to not put a stop and forget about it. But that's my plan. Okay, I'm going to hold a core position in all these positions until they break down. Okay, once they break down, that's a different story. Then probably more than likely the market's turn. We're back in the bear tape again. That's quite all right. But I do, want to hold, a core position if we are at a bottom in Amazon, Meta, Pins, Shop, Tesla, and we'll probably be adding to that, So that's because you're talking about easily, if we are in a bottom, these things could be, 100% gains in, within a year, easy. So keep that in the back of your mind, especially some of you guys who may be, young and want to build a portfolio. This could be I don't want to say, generational low for some of these stocks. And I'm not getting bullish because I don't know. I really don't, because, it's either going to be one thing. This is either a bottom, okay, or there's going to be a massive rug pull on a lot of people. Okay, when you start seeing all these stocks like this that are not, showing signs of turning around, and they're everywhere, and yeah, this, it could get ugly. Should we turn around and go? Because let's face it, we've seen it. Once we do turn around, the bid leaves, people panic, they get out, and these things could all turn around and get crushed. And I'm very aware of that, and that's why I'm always taking profits along the way. I took some profits today near highs in Tesla. I took some profits today in highs near Meta. Of course, it hung out there, but yeah, always. What went on here? I just lose my watch list here. Let's try this again. There you go. Don't know what happened. All right, so I'll share this with those who want it. I think it's a good little, it's a thing to have. It's a trend, if you're looking for opportunity, if things are turning around and you want to look at opportunity, this may be a great way to do it. And you can, like I said, just do your homework, or you can put in a 5-day column in here, and then you could, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Maybe a good idea if you're looking for opportunity to just go to change in 5-day, add the filter percentage that is. I'm sorry, I didn't want to do that. Search, and we're going to show column. There we go. And you'll see me doing this all the time in my webinars, because this is how I find a lot of my opportunity. I will sort from change in 5-day, and of course we've had a nice move in the market, so a lot of these things are going to be near highs. But when you do start seeing these stocks pulling back, you can catch these ones that have pulled back, sometimes 4 or 5% and sitting on a moving average. So it's a great way to do your homework and look for opportunity, especially if you're a swing trader. But I don't know why I'm not getting any of these down in the change of 5-day. May have to do with the something should be down. Yeah, it's probably has to do with my sort and the way it's sorting. There's so many stocks in here. Anyway, I'll work on that later. But for right now, let's do change from close. And what I'll do is I'm going to save and share it in case anybody wants to take this and look and use it. And I'll just drop it into the chat window. Uh-oh, what happened there? Jumped up on me. Okay, trend change pro. And there you guys go. All right, so let me make sure I didn't miss a question here. Okay, hey David, how are you? Basically, if the big names are at the potential bottom, it'd be nice to have a small position in that area in the long run and not break top stop loss rules. Yeah, you absolutely have to keep a stop loss no matter what. I mean, because we're not. Oh, you're welcome, Mike. You know, we're not sure. It's you know, a lot of times what I'll do when I take, because my method sometimes is a little unorthodox. Okay, there's not too many people that will tell you, you know, to buy Tesla the other day where I bought it down here. But I was looking at it on the weekly chart. You could see my alert just quite didn't go off. Maybe on a monthly chart. Let's just pull it up and take a look on the monthly real quick in Tesla. And there you have it. Okay, you can see it was kind of at a ledge here. It was a nice little support. Let's see if I can go on a weekly that shows up better. Yeah, you can see there was my alert, and there it got real close to it. You had a top there. This is a weekly now, so remember there would be days in here that would be, you know, more consolidation. But anyway, I just felt like it was a good. I thought it was going to get down here to this weekly 200-day moving average, but it never did. So I went ahead and bought it on that day. Now, you almost have to go into a, you know, because as a trader, okay, people out there are going to tell you, and they're right. As a trader, going back to the daily, that's ugly. Okay, it's in a downtrend. It's below all its moving averages. And yes, they're correct. Okay, if you are a momentum trader, you would not take this trade. Okay, if you even if you're a swing trader, most swing traders would not take this trade. So a lot of times, what I go into these with the mind frame of an investor. Okay, Tesla has fallen up from grace of around a 315 level all the way down to, you know, 165. Okay, so that's basically been cut in half. And I go in there with size like I'm investing. Okay, now even with that said, if it breaks down, you know, I can't remember what my stop loss is at the time, but it was such small size I wasn't too concerned about it. So what happens is I get this gap up the next day. I immediately buy more, and now I'm on house money. Okay, I'm in the green. I'm scalping. I can't remember when I take profits and when I jump back in more and things like that. But I maintain that core position, that original core position that I bought down here. I maintain that. Okay, so even if, you know, if it's showing up at a much higher price on my blotter, I know I've already bagged in lots of profits. Okay, so my stop is still going to be the low. Well, I'm not going to say that. If this thing breaks down through, you know, 179, yeah, I would probably get out. I don't like, once I'm in a trade and I'm in the money, I don't really just, and you, as you get more and more experience in trading and investing, you would understand this too. Okay, once you've banged out a lot of profits from a stock and you have a core position, you don't have to say I got a hard stop in my head. Okay, because you're probably now back into a quarter of the position that you've had after you've already bought size and scalped and done things. So I just keep a general area, and I'll put like a, you know, if it gets down here, maybe I'll put a alert in here, and if that alert goes off, you know what, I'm going to sell the rest, because now it's breaking down. It's probably going to go test these lows again. But you get a certain point where you get so much in the money, like that Meta, you don't sweat it anymore. Obviously, you have an idea where you're going to get out, but you're so far in the money, you don't have to, like, you know, put stop losses in, you know, 25, 30 points lower. You're just watching your blotter and maintaining it. But I don't want to steer, but I hope that makes sense, David. Yes, you definitely want to. It needs to be a small position, especially if you're buying like that. But Meta was the same way. You know, I looked at it down here, and I'm going, okay, this is below 90 now, and this thing was at 384. Okay, there comes a point in time where, you know, it's like I'm buying size in this, okay, even if it's tiny enough. All right, and I'll give myself 5 points. I'll give myself 5 points in this thing. I bought it at 89 or 90. I can't remember what I bought it at, but it's right. It was on this day right here. Uh, I said that I would bought enough size where 5 points. I'll give it 5 points because it's not going to kill me because this is investment size. Okay, now what happens is you get your move. Next thing you know, you're adding to that size. I mean, it kind of sucks that it kind of hurts your average entry, but that's okay because now you got a decent move, and now you're playing with house money again. You're scalping, but you're maintaining that core position. So I'm not one opposed. I mean, a lot of people will not buy this thing probably till this day right here, and that's fine. That's just their style. But I'm not opposed to taking a small size in a stock that most people will tell you, or a lot of people would say, you know what? More than likely, if you buy this thing and don't look at it for 5 years, you're going to be very happy that you did. But that's not always the case. But and you can't just go in blindly and not put a stop for sure. All right, so let's take a look at a few of these things to see if, I'm not going to like set price alerts. There's too many of them, things like this. But you're going to see some names in here that, hey, might want to. Drive me crazy. I'll fix it later. Splunk had it. That was a high flyer. Looks like it's had a big move. Let's go back and see where this was trading at. As a matter of fact, let's just put on the weeklies here so we can see these things better. Okay, so yeah, you're 230 down to 91. So yeah, that's had a nice little haircut. You know what? I don't like looking. I'd like to see the dailies. Sorry about that. God, this looks like it could go this 200-day really easy. Shop, I think Shop has a lot of potential. Once again, $300 stock. I'm sorry, it was $175 stock. Down to $43. Now it's above its 200. It's got this little spot right here that it needs to get above, but above that, and there's another 5 points probably easy above that. That's your next high right there. So a lot of opportunities, guys, to grab these. Even if it's not a bottom, this is what I'm saying. You can use the momentum of people flying in. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll see these setups on the chart and I will buy size knowing that I'm going to scalp out really quick, bang out half of it. Then I can let that other half ride and it gives me a little more flexibility as far as where my stop needs to be on the downside because I've already banged out a lot of those profits. And I do that quite a bit. Etsy, nice, beautiful 2-day move there in Etsy. And here's another thing you could do too. What I do all the time is like, gosh, 2 great moves. I don't want to chase that. But if this thing pulls back down to this level right here, I want to know about it. That's how I found that great entry in Shop. I did not want to chase it up here. I put an alert down here on the 20 and boom, hit it. Bang, I bought it. Set it and forget it. Let's see, Netflix, we've gone over that. There's Yeti, once again. Yeti, solid company above, yeah, 4 days there. Maybe if it comes back here and tests the 200 again, I'd want to know about it, but I'm not going to chase a 4-day move like that. That's just my style. Let's see, Intuit. Jeez, that thing was a $700 stock. Yeah, there's another one almost cut in half. It's, by the way, what has PayPal been doing? I haven't seen PayPal. PayPal's not doing anything, but this is what I want to know. Okay, once again, high flyer. They're obviously doing something wrong. It's above 300, but you can see I have alert in there. But now what I want to know if it takes out this level right here, because now it's going to take out like a 10-day high, be above these moving averages, possibly above this 50 by the time it does it. But yeah, something's not right with PayPal. But I want to know if it does reverse, and a lot of times I'll do things like that. I was wondering why I didn't see PayPal in here. It's not near a 20-day high. There's Workday, Nike's in there. Anyway, you guys can look through. I'm not gonna NVIDIA. Yeah. Not bad. Seeing a lot of stocks like this, guys. It makes you wonder. Like I said, it's going to be a massive, the bottom's in, or it's going to be a massive rug pull. All right, so I'm not going to go through a lot of these. You guys have it. I shared that with you. You guys can look at it. Path may be one to watch. It did have earnings after hours, and I will set alert for tomorrow above that 14. Probably get hit in after hours. All right, the last trend change you gave us had a, you know what, Mitchell, you're probably right. I noticed that. I think, remember how I mentioned this wasn't the original one? And I think what I did is somebody had one called the trend change lubricant. It's a very, very old one. And I think I used that to make my trend change pro, and I did not notice that filter in there, but I took it out because I'm not concerned, about bars. And also noticed they had a at least a 5% short float. I don't care about that either. I just want to see stocks, that are potentially turning around, on the daily. And a lot of these stocks have been holding up the market, especially these Dow stocks. If we do have a nice little turnaround coming, I don't want to be in those. Okay, they've had their day. They've been holding up the market basically. I want to be in these. I want to be in these ones that you can get easily, 30, 40, even 100%, over time. So over maybe even a few weeks. So there's just so much opportunity there. And if you're an active trader, it's not as much risk as you think, because like I said, you're typically going in with half size, and then you're adding to it, and then you go from there. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm saying, okay, let's take a look at the SPICE. And this is what got me thinking. I'm seeing all these stocks doing these potential trend change. And I'm thinking, well, what about that short bounce above 50, below 50 SMA short that I optimized the other day that performed so well? I said, look at the SPICE here. It's had a nice move now over the last, 6 weeks. So I said, man, I bet this thing's really starting to deteriorate. So I pulled it up and I ran a back test, and it's a sell since it's a short. And I start seeing this, I'm going, well, doesn't look like it's deteriorating that much. And sure enough, it's not. Even the last several trades have worked. So, so this is what has me puzzled. Typically, guys, if you have a short strategy and the market has done what it's done over the last 6 weeks, it's not going to continue to work. Now, these are weak patterns. These charts are very weak patterns, but a lot of these ones on the trend change pro were also weak about 6 weeks ago. Very, very ugly and weak. You saw Tesla, you saw Meta, Netflix. So there were a lot of weak ones, but it's telling me, and I think it probably has to do with, I see a lot of big cap stuff going, like the ones I showed you, the Netflix, Nvidias. I'm seeing a lot of money flowing in the big caps. So, but this right here is telling me that some of the weaker stocks are still paying off if you short them. We'll just have to see how that pans out, because when I see this, then I start scratching my head. It's like, whoa, is this move for real? Might we not be just a big bull trap? And it very well can be. And I usually kind of have a gut feeling. Right now, I really don't. And that's why I'm constantly taking profits. I'm just bang, bang, bang. I'm just, yes, I will share that, Mike. It's a nice little window scan. And yeah, this is, if you guys like to short, let's just take a look at some of the recent trades in here. Let's put all in there. Now, a lot of these may go back a ways. Come on. Got too many columns in this thing. Gosh. Okay, at home. So there's where you should shorten this one when it broke down below the 50 and took out that low. ACI. So there's still some shorts working. Yes, I will put this back on real time. Actually, I'll just share it from here. It'd be easier. So you make sure you get the right one. There it is, the one that's optimized. And bounced and short. Still paying off, guys. So makes me scratch my head a little bit. It's like, wow, that tells me not everything is bouncing with the market. So keep that in the back of your mind, because if this ends up being a bull trap, which it very well could be, we could I mean, because we got to ask ourselves, would we have had that yesterday, that massive day, if Powell hadn't opened his mouth? Probably not. So I know I just like to follow the charts and let the charts, speak for themselves. And I was long when it happened, and I was very happy that I was long when it happened, because it ended up being a great day for me. But at the same time, it's always in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, that was Fed talk right there that moved the market. Let's see if there's any follow through. That's why I think tomorrow is a big day. Do we get that go, pause, go, or do we just reverse, take out today's low and go back down into our range? It's going to be a key. I'll be on my trigger, selling more too if it happens. All right, got that to you, and yeah, that's about it. I did share this one, and I'm about to get talked out here, guys. It's been going almost 45 minutes. Let me make sure I get any of these questions. Gomez probably cut this. Yes, David. He did. Well, he, as soon as they came out and started talking, he cut it. He ended up taking a profit. But yeah, I always feel bad, because I've been on that. I've been on that side before too. Looks, everything's looking like it's going to work for you, and they open their mouths, and that's all you can do, because everybody's going to be covering their shorts, and new buying interest is going to be coming in. It's a shame, but it's what we have. You're welcome, Mike. All right, guys, I'm going to bring in Scott, because I am, like I said, about talked out here, and he'll walk us out of here, and you guys hang on. He probably has a promo code for you.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. A couple items on the way out. Let's make sure everyone's aware that we have a partnership with Interactive Brokerage, where you can connect your Interactive Brokerage account directly with Trade Ideas and manage your trades, one-click trades, auto trades, directly from within Trade Ideas, and learn more about becoming an Interactive Brokerage client at trade-ideas.com/IDKR. In a similar fashion, we've got a relationship with E-Trade, and they have zero commission trading. You can do zero commission one-click trading or auto trading by connecting your E-Trade account with Brokerage Plus inside Trade Ideas. Just go to trade-ideas.com/E-Trade to find out a little bit more about that. We have an ebook that's very handy. My Favorite Strategy Indicators, written by our Director of Software Development, Dave Mabe. Go ahead and grab a copy at trade-ideas.com/strategy. Not only does it have some great advice about strategy indicators, it also has some cloud links you can just grab and import directly into your layouts. If you're not quite ready to become a full-on Trade Ideas subscriber, but you do like the trade of the week, you can get our strength alerts. It's 5 trades sent to you every Sunday night. Just go to trade-ideas.com/strength and to learn a little bit more about becoming a subscriber to the strength alerts. And use the code FASTDATA to save 15% off any new subscription or upgrade. Go ahead and upgrade from standard to premium, or get started with Trade Ideas. And of course, you can always send us your questions to info@tradeIdeas.com. Go to our help desk. Find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. So Andy, thank you so much. Thanks all. The recording will be up later on tonight or tomorrow. You get an email reminder about how to find it. Have a good one.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, everybody. I'll see some of you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.